Hey everyone! The machine behind me is running great right now. But that doesn't happen by itself, it takes maintenance. So in this video I'll show you what it takes to keep this machine running and why it is built the way it is. So let's get started. Just to put the wear into perspective, on the job the machine is running right now, a piece about 500 by 350 millimeters. The finishing pass alone means roughly 1750 movements along the x-axis. With a step over of 0.2 millimeters, that adds up to roughly from 1 to 2 kilometers of travel, depending on the tool path. And that's just the finishing pass. I do at least 2 or 3 jobs like this every week. Add roughing, preparation work and larger pieces, and the machine easily travels hundreds and sometimes thousands of kilometers per year in dust, moisture and stone slurry, so wear is simply unavoidable. So, this is a 3-axis gantry type machine. Y-axis is longitudinal movement, X-axis is transversal, and the Z is vertical. Motion is driven by stepper motors. On X and Y axis, rotation is converted into linear movement using helical rack and pinion. On Z, I use a bolt screw. I built this machine about 8 years ago with one main idea in mind. Keep it simple, easy to maintain and affordable. All components are standard, easy to source and quick to replace. Instead of asking what the best I can build, I asked myself what can I live without and still get the job done. Today I'm replacing 4 linear rail carriages on the X-axis. Since I already have to take things apart, I also clean, inspect and recheck everything. The goal is simple: do it fast, minimize downtime, and get the machine back to work within a few hours. I don't replace this often. Over the years I've done it twice on Y and Z, and this is the 3rd time on X. I replace them when noticeable play, like this, appears. These carriages are quite durable, especially considering the harsh conditions they work in. I use heaving components, a good balance between price and quality. One important thing about linear rails: the carriage wears out, not the rail. As you can see, after years of work, the rails are still in great condition. That makes replacement simple. I usually replace them one by one, letting the axis rest on the others, so I don't have to fully disassemble the machine. Some of you asked why I don't use covers or automatic lubrication. From my experience, visibility is more important. In my conditions, covers trap dirt and moisture, and lubrication systems don't always work reliably in cold temperatures. So I prefer to keep everything open, easy to clean, inspect and maintain. My only daily maintenance routine is simple. At the end of each day, no matter how clean or dirty the machine is, I blow off all the rails with compressed air. Then I wipe everything dry with a clean cloth and apply a generous amount of WD-40. Its main job here is to repel moisture. Over the years, I've tried many different lubricants, but I keep coming back to WD-40. Even though it's not really a lubricant, it doesn't attract dust and debris like others do. And that makes cleaning much easier. WD-40 is not a sponsor of this channel, but if you're watching this, I'm open to offers. Now on to replacing the carriages. To keep areas lubricated where I can't easily reach, I use these small lubricators. They're standard units for heaving carriages. I simply fill them with WD-40, mount them on the carriage, and the fluid slowly feeds inside. I refill them every couple of months, simple and reliable. So I remove them from the old carriages and install them onto the new ones. I also use metal scrapers as an extra option. They remove larger debris first, and then the internal wiper cleans the rail more precisely. Over time, those wipers wear out and dirt starts getting inside. It mixes with the ball bearings and acts like an abrasive, slowly wearing everything down. That's when the play appears and it's time to replace the carriage. The replacement itself is straightforward. The only thing to be careful with, new carriages come with a plastic guide insert that keeps the balls in place. Make sure it does not fall out. When installing, hold it in place and slide the carriage directly onto the rail. Only remove the plastic insert once the carriage is fully on the rail. I keep the old inserts so I can safely store the old carriages without losing the balls. Even worn carriages can still be useful in less precise applications. Since the machine is already partially disassembled, I take the opportunity to inspect everything. All moving parts, motor mounts, and of course I clean everything as good as possible. I also adjust the gear engagement on the rack and pinion to eliminate any play. Over time, the gear wears out, so it needs occasional adjustment or replacement. I keep spare gears on hand so I can swap them quickly if needed. In this case, adjustment was enough. I also repainted the lower cover and updated the front panel with the new channel logo. All in all, this took me about half a day, including filming. The process is simple, but I try not to delay it. As soon as I notice the first signs of wear, I take care of it before it becomes a bigger problem. And just to be clear, the decisions I make for this machine are not universal. They simply work best for me. This is not a step-by-step guide, just my personal experience, which I hope some of you may find useful. The machine is back and ready to work. Remember how clean it looks now. This is probably the last time you'll see it like this. Meanwhile, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.